That children who don't sleep in childhood tend to be poor sleepers in adulthood. Now, this is something our next guest sees a lot in her own practice. Amanda Jewson is a child sleep consultant who works with sleepless kids and their parents in Stratford, Ontario, and she joins us this morning. Good morning, Amanda. Thank you so much for getting up early and joining us today.
Thank you so much. My pleasure.
So I have to start by asking, how did you sleep last night?
Everyone asks me this. I sleep really well because I do all of the things that I'm going to talk to you about today.
See, that's great. You know what? And I slept okay last night too, to be honest. We've been juggling a lot of shifts here at work. A lot of people on our morning show get up very early in the day, as you can imagine. So getting a good night's sleep is crucial in our business. So tell me a bit about the importance of establishing consistency in your sleep routine.
Yeah, well, the American Academy of Pediatrics, like you said, they just released their long-term study. And this was really interesting stuff because this is tracking kids from age 9 to the age of 24. And what they found is those 9-year-olds, the same 9-year-olds that are reporting the sleep issues are also reporting them at 24. And that can sound really ominous and sad and not good. But the great thing is that for the vast majority of us, we can make those changes through behavioral changes, like you said. And so one of the first and easiest ways to do that is establishing a consistent bedtime routine. So like I said, I still do this, okay? So before I go to bed, I'm in my office. Now, all of my electronics are in my office. I take off my Apple Watch, I do that. I wash my face. I do the exact same thing every day. And what that does is it locks in that muscle memory for you. Hey, sleep is next. I go to bed. I'm probably asleep within 5 minutes.
Wow, 5 minutes. 5 minutes. And you know what? That leads me to my next question, because many of us, adults and children alike, are probably guilty of going to bed with an iPhone, an iPad, TV. Many of us have TVs in our room as well. So how can we try to make those healthy changes in a child's life if they already are used to bringing that iPad or iPhone to bed with them at night, and we want to start creating healthier habits at bedtime and consistency, like you mentioned?
That's exactly right. So in my former life, I was a middle school teacher, and our students actually had laptops. And one of the biggest conversations we had with our parents were, how do I get these laptops out of their room? Because parents did start to see those electronics impacting their children's sleep, and it makes sense. So we know, I think it's more common knowledge now, that phones, laptops, computers, anything with the screen emits blue light. The blue light will impact our melatonin production, and that makes it harder for us to fall asleep and stay asleep. And in fact, this study highlighted that the majority of the sleep issues were due to poor sleep habits before bed, including screen use. So it can be harder with children because many parents say, when they have the tablet or the computer, they appear calm. It's kind of their relaxed time. And while their bodies are calm, inside their brains are going bzzz. So what I would suggest is you don't have to fully take away screens, for your whole thing. I would just remove them about 30 to 60 minutes before bed and replace that with another great activity your child's going to like a cuddle book, maybe some quiet activities like coloring or painting instead.
That's really interesting. Amanda, I want to ask you a bit about, so we talked about, getting that consistency and that routine and with going to bed at a certain time and having that routine leading up to bedtime. But what about waking up? And can that really play an impact into a child's sleep habits? Because I would assume on the weekend, most kids like to sleep in. I mean, we're all guilty of wanting to sleep in. So can sleeping in affect your sleep habits as well?
It can, and this is, I'm talking about how good of a sleeper I am. This is my dirty secret, Suzette, okay? I love a good sleep in on the weekend. But what I find is on Monday, when I need to get up at my regular time, it's actually so much harder for me to do that. So what we suggest is waking up every day at the same time, roughly within the hour, going to bed every day at the same time, roughly within the hour. And what it does, it establishes a body rhythm. Your body is going to produce the right hormones at the right time, making it easier for you to wake up and feel refreshed, and making it easier for you to fall asleep as well.
Oh, fascinating. Amanda, one last quick question for you. When should parents seek professional advice?
Well, a lot of parents will tell me, look, we've done everything. I hear your tips, Samantha. We have a great routine. We're doing all, there's no electronics. We have firm boundaries. My child still wakes frequently. There can be issues such as GI issues, tummy troubles, potentially pediatric sleep apnea. That might look like breathing with your mouth open or snoring overnight. Sometimes, in rare cases, these are physiological issues, and you should always chat with your doctor.